Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. Hey, I'm Victor Hamza. Thanks for tuning in. As we can see in global events, the coronavirus is a pandemic that's gone across now pretty much the globe. And I mentioned before about how there were, if you go back like 5 or 6 videos, there were 100 angels stars that disappeared, that they couldn't find anymore. That they were like, where'd these stars go? So the astronomers, they all cataloged these stars and they couldn't find these stars. So what happens is that Jesus said that the heavens were set up like Roman legions. So you'd have a cohort, you'd have a centurion, you'd have uh, all these things that you have basically 10, 100, 1,000, and then you have troops. So it's the same thing with the angels, since the angels are really, stars are really rather angels, and then can transform themselves. That's why 100 angels disappeared, because they came, where'd they go? They came basically here. 100 stars disappeared. And we've seen that displayed in our reality with earthquakes, and doing their thing, and the coronavirus. Now, that all might sound crazy to you. That's okay. Now, when psychology is when you have the death that looks you in the face, you kind of wake up to your reality, right? So you see what's going on with your reality, and you say, "Oh boy, that's why we have so many of these, events." It's our wake up call, and it's a wake up call for humanity to wake up and transcend, and to embody the things that you want now. So the highest truth that you could find is that you're going to be dead, dead soon. So once you die, once you're gonna die, you're like, whoa. What's the most poignant and powerful time in your life is, there's a story about it's an old Zen story about a guy who's fell off a bridge, and there's tigers underneath him waiting to eat him, and then there's like tigers above him, and they're gonna eat him too, and he's hanging on. He's hanging on with one hand, and he looks over and he sees a cherry blossom, uh, and then he goes, and then he's like, "What a beautiful cherry blossom," So you wake up when you wake up when you see these things. I was painting. I was painting doing that. I'm not bleeding, by the way. I don't want you to freak out. I have some paint all over myself. I was doing a project, but. So people are waking up. Do you get, like, you wake up to your reality. Like, I got, let go from my job. They're like, get rid of him. We'll lay him off, basically. And that's a wake up. You're like, so there's a coronavirus and you're just firing me? You're laying me off? Like, yeah, we don't want to pay your salary or anything right now, so we're just gonna lay you off. And it's just like, I don't want to go back there now. So a lot of people are feeling that. They're waking up to their situations, waking up to their environments. Their social norms are askew, and you reevaluate everything. So what's happening is, in China, now they're rebelling. Now there's on the Yangtze Bridge. There's a bridge going over to the Yangtze in China. They're turning over police cars. They're fighting the police with the barricades. Like the Chinese, this I think is just the beginning. So this coronavirus is a wake up to humanity, to look at your situation, your social political situation, and throw off the oppressors that are around you. You know, when Trump says that no matter what, we're going to put people back to work, he didn't say no matter what, but he said, I have a goal and I have a date for, for April, for Easter. I want to see churches packed on Easter. I understand he's probably trying to get the markets to rally, but what kind of message are you sending to the American people when you're saying, gee, some of you are going to die, but it's worth it because we got to get the economy back on track, right? Not a good message. There's, the other thing that really bothered me, a couple things, and I don't get bothered. It just when I say bother, it's 3D thing. I see it's a 3D thing. I see it's wrong. They said that the Kennedy Center, Trump said, and you could rewind it and play it. And he said that the Democrats are pushing, and they wanted it packed into the stimulus package, which was just released today for $2 trillion. They wanted $30 million for the Kennedy Center. And so they said, no, he pushed back and they said, okay, 20 million. And then he's on record in public, well, it's not really for, they do a lot of good plays. And, if I want to go see Romeo and Juliet or something like that, I like to be able to see it. So we give him 20 million. I mean, 20 million to him isn't a lot of money, right? Which he sees, those kind of funds all the time. But if you took, they do 3,500 shows per year at the Kennedy Center, right? Or is it called now Kennedy Lincoln Center? Anyway, where they do these shows. So if you divide that up in a 2-month span, and then figure it out, each performance, let's say they do 3 performances a day, each performer is making per performance per hour $166 to be gifted $20 million. I did the math. Now you could say, well, take that number down, Victor, and put that towards profits. So they lost profits, so we want to keep them afloat. It doesn't cost $20 million. They don't make $20 million in a week, in a month, in 2 months. They don't make it. Why refund them the profit? It was just like really disheartening for me to hear that there's all these little things that they put in the stimulus package, and some people are getting really fat off of it. Some corporations are going to be, some CEOs are going to be, getting wealthy over it and putting that money right into their pockets. Just like when 2008, when Obama, in 2009, when they had that whole stimulus package, and I talked to bankers back then. They said, yeah, we're basically raping the Treasury before Obama gets out of office. We're just raping it. And these bankers told me that. They're like, yeah, we're taking that money. So they went to certain banks, and it didn't. There's no trickle down. It's trickling down when somebody's peeing on your. If you're a bum lying in the alleyway and the 1% gets out of their limousine and pees on you, that's what's trickling down. There's no trickle down going on, really. So I want, everybody's going to get something like $1,200 or something, which is helpful, right? And I'm not putting that down. What I'm saying is, I see this time as a time where we can, maybe perhaps restructure our society the way that we really want it. instead of going back to our jobs and going back to the works, maybe doing something that you really want to do. Taking this time to spend it on bettering yourself, retooling for a job that you want to do and you want to benefit society, versus going back to your BS job and just doing it. So a lot of people, I think, feel exactly the same way because they're looking at the specter of death and they're saying, I'm gonna die, and if I don't die, things have to change. This isn't gonna be the same. I think you're gonna see massive rebellions around the earth now. I think there's gonna, this is what I said before in my other videos. I said that, this is gonna be, for a lot of people, wake up call, and I said that a lot of people, it's just what happens. You stare death in the face. A cataclysmic event happens, and then you flip out. You go, oh my God, I gotta talk to this person I haven't talked to in a long time. I tell them I really love them, and it brings you closer together. It gives you a focus. So you focus into your reality. You say, this is what's the problem. And then this whole thing with QAnon. I think it's a little sideshow for the conspiracy theorists, hoping and praying that there's some massive arrests, right? Massive arrests happening. So you could just, you could just sit back and relax, and you're in quarantine and not plan to take over anything or not plan to change anything on your own or with a group of people or whatever. We give you free internet to Google all you want with no restrictions while you're home. Get your conspiracy asses spinning in a circle, and that way you'll be distracted. So it's all distraction, man. It's all distraction. It's all for you to just sit back and, again, do nothing. And when things get back to quote unquote normal, for you to go back and do your own bullshit again that you were doing before that you weren't happy with. So, I mean, these QAnon drops that, this celebrity got arrested and this got arrested. Yeah, you're going to believe an actress or an actor is not acting whenever the camera's pointing at them. I mean, come on. It's just acting. It's all acting. It's all a sideshow. It's all fake. When people realize that anything, you don't know who this QAnon is. You don't know where it's coming from. It's just psychological. A release valve is what it is. Okay, do you understand? It's a release valve. It's like they're going to society, and they know, they know. The 1%. They know there's some people are very unsatisfied, very unhappy, very upset with the status quo, as it were. Good honey tea. They're really upset with the status quo, and so let's give them a safety valve and let's pump out more YouTube videos and let's make things unrestricted. Okay, do you understand what's going on? You're given access to Google, unrestricted access for a reason. Everybody's like, oh, we must be winning. The light forces are winning. Yeah, sure. The light forces changed Google's algorithm. No. So somebody, Alphabet, whatever, that's in, down there at Google said, you know what we really need you to do? And down there at Google, they're like, what? They're like, we need you to change the algorithm and so people could search for anything while the coronavirus outbreak is there. And they're like, well, before you didn't want us to do that. Now you want us to do this. I said, yeah, it's a release valve. We got to let the crazy people look at stuff. Otherwise, they're really going to go nuts. And they're like, okay, I guess that sounds whatever you want, boss, whatever you want. government, and Google changed it. So it's not like lights of lights forces of light, magically send down some vibes, and they changed the Google algorithm. That's not how that's not how it works. You know, People are losing their minds. They're like, I'm watching these channels. They're like, well, the forces of light um, are saying that, to me, that I could, cash out all my, business and then savings, and then just all of a sudden I'll be offered an opportunity to make a lot of money. I understand, it's going with the flow and everything like that, and releasing to the universe and all that kind of stuff. I hope that's the way it works. But, it's good to have a plan. It's good to do certain things. But if you're sitting at home watching videos, and you're like waiting for a change, and then when this all gets over, and then you go back to your job, and you're like, oh man, I guess that we didn't arrest all those. We didn't arrest Oprah. I guess we didn't arrest, Tom Hanks. I guess. And by the way, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, they're back. They're back. They weren't arrested. It was all bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors. To distract you from the truth. And the truth is, you're screwed. Just like George Carlin says, it's a club and you're not in it. So when are you going to do something about it? And I'm not saying, be violent. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know, restructure your reality the way you want it to be. And I'm trying to do that myself. I've been trying, and it's, very hard, but you have to restructure your reality the way, the way you want it, live the life you want to live now. There's no more waiting. There's no more waiting. We have to live our life, now. So, the present is now. So you got to look in the mirror and you got to say, I'm changing everything now. I said this before in movies like Limitless, or movies like Flowers for Algernon, right? When all of a sudden they make the character very smart, what's the first thing they do? What is the first thing that they really do? They look around them and they go, this is a pigsty. This is filthy, And then they start cleaning up. And and the flowers for Algernon, he starts stacking things and moving things around. In the movie Limitless, the main character, played by Bradley Cooper, he goes and he spends, a few hours cleaning his apartment, makes it all neat and orderly and things like that. So what I would say to you, the first thing that you should do is, now you're inside your home or your apartment or wherever, and you're, clean up. Clean up, make your life orderly right now. That's why I'm doing projects. I did projects around my house. I'm doing all the things that I wanted to do, but I've been too busy to. Now I'm doing them. I'm getting those all sorted. I'm starting to write. I'm writing articles. I'm doing videos, right? Making memes. I'm trying to be out there, to help you. And the first thing is, you got to help yourself. So you look at the small things, and then, you work your way up. And then, like Bradley Cooper's character, he started writing. That's what I'm doing. Wrote an article the other day. I put it on my website. So Victor Hamza, HAMSA.com. Read it. I think you'll like it. And let me know, and I'll write a different article. I was invited to do some writing for different websites, so that'll be interesting. But to get back to the main point, when you look death in the face, you're going to wake up. So what could be better for humanity than, something that can wake us all up? And it's something that, you're looking, like, well, it has an incubation period of maybe 5 days, 2 weeks, maybe a month. Nobody's sure. So you're like, who has it? Maybe I have it. Maybe I have it now. And then, what should I do? And then there's a percentage, there's 1%, 2% chance that I'm going to die. What other way to wake everybody up so quickly? So this is, an opportunity, and some actors, evil actors will say, never let a crisis go to waste. I'm saying the same thing. Never let a crisis go to waste. So you use this to slingshot yourself further in your spiritualness. So what would you say to God, and what would you pray about if today was your last day on earth? What would you do? We use this time to wake up. That's what I wanted to talk about, because everything else, and I see these other, spiritual people and gurus are all, it makes me want to throw up half the time, because I just, I see what they're doing and then it just goes sideways. I see what they're doing and it goes sideways. I see what they're doing and it goes sideways. Man, woman, everybody. And it's just like, I, and the people doing the abundance videos, oh, if you want abundance, you do this. You want abundance, you do that. Yeah, cool. All right. I'm sure you get a lot of likes and shares on those videos. I'm trying to be real with you guys and tell you, the truth, and the absolute truth, right? The absolute truth is, when this is over, you're back where you started from. You have to do the work. You have to do the self-change. I'm here helping. I'm here. I'm a helper. I'm the helper. I'm helping. You could comment to me and I'll help you. I help people. I try to help. So you could say, what should I do? I'm telling you, the first thing is clean. Clean your place up. Okay? Get your life in order. Get all those, get your checkbook, get everything straightened out. Okay? You have the time now. Get that stuff ironed out. Okay? Get yourself busy doing that. Okay? Don't sit here and watch all these YouTube videos all day. I watched a lot of them. Most of them are a waste of time. They're a waste of time, except my channel, of course. But the rest are a waste of time. Don't watch them. But what I'm saying to you is, that's true. Really. Well, what I'm saying to you is, straighten out that, and when you clean up, then you'll see the next step. It's like this. This is what I do to help people wake up. Right. The mind works on a priority-based system. So as we go up in a hierarchy of the mind, like we were based in a survival, flee or fight or flee. All these things are, your reality is based in your mind. It works in a priority-like system, right? So when we are working on a priority-like system, the one thing that's the most important gets addressed first, right? And then the second thing that's the most important that you have to do gets addressed second, because that just is the only way it makes sense. Third thing's third, fourth. So in that way, you see that you are being controlled by your environment, by your situation, by what you have to do. Now they gave Dobby the sock, and you're Dobby, and now you've been given the sock, and now you're free from the yoke. A lot of you, unless you're working, God bless you. Now you're free from the yoke of your oppressors, of what you've been having to do. So now you have free time. So a lot of us, a lot of people are squandering it. Drinking, maybe went out and bought a lot of cannabis and smoking up and watching videos, and you're wasting your opportunity. What you need to do is to, look at your reality, reassess your situation, reevaluate everything, okay? And now is the time that you could be the person that you want to be. And like I said, the first thing is to clean clean, get everything orderly, get that done. Clean up, make it so like, you walk in and it's like, you're like, who lives here? And you're like, wait, this is my place. I live here. So you really want to get all those projects done that you wanted to do. Get all that stuff done versus wasting your time watching these stupid movies and videos and whatever. When you get that done, then you go to phase two and you go, okay, and it's going to reveal itself to you. What's phase two? It's going to happen. So you're going to say, okay, now I have this free time. Now I have this. Now I'm going to do, what do I want to change? And you're going to think about it and you're like, what do I want to change in my life? And how do I do that? And then what I'm saying to you is, I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen or pencil and write down how you can change, your life right now. Okay? So how you can sequentially, what are the things that you can make, and write the goal. How could you do that? How could you do it now? And that's it. And then you're going on to that, and you're saying, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And then these things will, most people don't have goals written. Most people don't have, they just go to day to day. And right now, use this crisis to your advantage, Don't get caught up in all the hoopla of fakeness out there. The media, everything, it's all fake, Turn off all the bullshit. Take care of yourself and don't worry, because I'm here. And I'm here to help you, right? So we're all in this together. So I am and have been, I honestly feel now that I'm like, it's like, in a way, like light workers are like, the special forces of humanity dropped down, into this reality. And I feel like I'm like the general. I'm here to help. And I'm not saying that from ego. It's just been like, I've turned around so many people and put them on the right path that they're like, I'm like the general. I'm here to help you. And I'm just giving you a little direction. And you're going to be your own, soldier yourself. And you're out there and you're going to do, the right thing. And you're going to try to, maybe the right thing for you on your goal list is, how can I help other people? Who should I be, did I call my mom? Did I call my dad? Did I call my relative? Did I check up on people? Did I check up my coworkers? Did I email? Did I text people? How are they doing at least? Get in contact, being social, are you doing that? Think about these things, right? And then let me know how you're doing. Comment and let me know if you're stuck. And let's all get through this together in a constructive way and make this a positive thing. Make this like it was the best thing ever that I got to stay in my house for a couple weeks, because look what I did. I cleaned up my whole house. I did all the projects I wanted to do, and I helped other people, and I changed my life. Like, how cool is that? So let me hear your what you changed, and thanks so much. All right, and let's talk again soon. Peace out. Bye-bye.